Many of you may know, based on some videos that we've done in the past, that we did hike the Grand Canyon back a year and a half ago in March of 2016, I believe it was. This year we are planning on going back to Arizona in the wintertime and just kind of touring around out there. So anyway, I asked the kids if they wanted to go down to the Grand Canyon again, and they enthusiastically said yes. But before we get all excited about that, we have to go through that process of applying for the permit. And there's no guarantee that you're going to get a permit. That's what this video is going to be about today. I'm going to show you how I apply for the permit and kind of go through it step by step. There seems to be a lot of mystery surrounding the whole process of getting a permit to go backpacking in the Grand Canyon. So I'm going to walk you through that. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that step by step. So if any of you out there are interested in hiking the Grand Canyon, or maybe you're just curious as to how you get a backpacking permit for the Grand Canyon, then hopefully this will unravel some of that mystery for you and make it a little easier for you. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is find the Grand Canyon website. And you can find that by going to the National Park Service website. That's nps.gov. Look up the Grand Canyon, and then you'll come to the Grand Canyon's main page here. And then you want to head on down, find Plan Your Visit, Things to Do, and Backcountry Hiking. And then down here you'll see the link Backcountry Permit. So that will bring you to this page here, and this is the Backcountry Permit page. And this is where you'll find a lot of the information you'll need in order to apply for a permit. Now, when do you need a permit? Anytime you are camping out down in the canyon. If you go down for a day hike, even if you go all the way to the bottom and you hike back up the same day, you do not need a permit. But if you camp out down there, even if it's off corridor, in other words off of the Bright Angel and South Kaibab trails, and you're out in the wilderness somewhere, you still need a permit. So anytime you spend the night in the canyon, you're going to need a permit. So I would encourage you to come to this page and read it over as thoroughly as possible, just to kind of get an overview of what the requirements are, and the rules and regulation, permit cost, how to apply, when to apply, and so on and so forth. And after you've done that, the next question that you need to know the answer to is when to apply. This is a little bit vague here, but I know from experience kind of how this works, so I'm just going to walk you through it. So in general, you can apply as early as 4 months in advance. So in other words, if you want to hike in February, you can apply in October. Now they also have this earliest consideration time frame, which basically, if we're going in February, it says the earliest consideration is September 20th and October 1st. So between September 20th and October 1st, you can apply, send in your permit to get a spot, to get a permit for the month of February. Now the way this works is any requests that they get during that time frame, during the earliest consideration time frame, they will just collect those, and then they randomly pick for the permits requests that they got during that early consideration time frame, and they will start issuing permits from there. Then after that, then it's a first come first serve, I think, if you start applying like October 1st and beyond for February. So in other words, if you apply October 10th, then it just it's going to be a kind of a first come first serve. So that's kind of the way I understand it, and for us it's been a 50-50 success rate. We got a permit one year, the next year we didn't. So this year hopefully we'll get our permit, because we are sending it in during the earliest consideration time, and we're going during the end of February, which is not peak season. It's March, April, May, those are peak season. Also September, October, those are really busy times. So once you figure out when you can apply, then you obviously want to fill out the permit itself. So there's a couple links here how to apply, and I would encourage you to open all of these up and check them out. The first one is the permit itself. That will open up the backcountry permit request, a PDF file, and this is the form you fill out. Another a PDF file that you can open up is this backcountry hiking brochure, and this is a really cool brochure that will give you a lot more information about hiking in the Grand Canyon. You know, how to prepare for it, you know, how to make sure you don't die, you know, those little things like that. What it's like to hike in the summer, in the winter, spring and autumn, you know, elevation gains, distances. They've got a lot of cool information in this brochure. And then the next thing you can also look at is this corridor availability report, and that opens up this thing, and it's basically telling you here what's available and what's not. And they update this, I think, every month. Let's see, report is updated 1 to 2 times a month. Okay, so as of right now, the last update was September 25th, 2018. So as of that date, this is what's available, and they're basically going 4 months in advance. Obviously, as of September 25th, February is not available to be applied for, so it's not listed here. But all of these are available to be applied for because it's within that 4-month period. So a minus means that it's not available, and a plus means it is available. So it tells you what the day of the month here is, and then which campground in which month is available. And so as you can see, if you want to go in January, December and January, it's pretty much wide open. You could apply for a permit right now for those 2 months, and you'll pretty much, you know, be assured that you're going to get something. If you want to apply for October, not so much. There's one day at Cottonwood Campground available on the 9th of October, and that's just that's like next week. So if you want to go next week, then there you go. Alright, so once you kind of figure out when you want to go and where you want to backpack, then you want to come over and fill out the backcountry permit. So just go to that PDF file and scroll down to the second page, and there's basically one page that you need to fill out here. And this is a PDF file, so you should be able to fill it out on your computer, or you can print it out and fill it out by hand. Since my handwriting is really messy, then I prefer to do it on the computer. So I'll type all this stuff in after we're done with the video, but go ahead and fill out all your contact information. Make sure you provide a valid email address and contact phone number, because that is how they will be contacting you, letting you know whether you got a permit or not. So once you get that filled out, then you're going to check which type of backcountry permit you're requesting. In our case, it'll be the backpacking one, and then you want to give itinerary details, and this is where you need to be as specific as you possibly can, and think about, you know, different choices that you may be interested in doing. You know, so they give you can put as many choices as you possibly can come up with. You just need to submit additional pages, but in this form you can put 2 choices in. So you start off, put your group size. In our case, it's going to be 6. Entry location. For our first choice, we are actually this time we're going to be starting off on the South Rim, going down the Bright Angel Trail to Indian Garden. And last time we hiked the Grand Canyon, we went down the South Kaibab Trail all the way down to the very bottom and camped out at Bright Angel Campground for the first night. The second day we hiked up to Indian Garden on the Bright Angel Trail, and then we camped out at Indian Garden for the second night, and then the third day we hiked up the Bright Angel Trail to the top again. And this time we thought, you know, it would be kind of neat to camp out 2 nights in Indian Garden and then day hike down to the bottom from Indian Garden on the second day. That way we don't have to lug our big heavy packs around down to the bottom, and we can spend more time exploring and just enjoy the hike more without it being as grueling as it typically is when you've got a heavy pack on your back. So we're going to do entry location would be Bright Angel Trailhead. I'm assuming they know what that is, but because Bright Angel Trailhead is only one spot, and then we're going to exit at the Bright Angel Trailhead as well. So then you want to enter your night 1 date that you're going to put down, and then the trail, route to be taken, camp location / use area. And be as specific as possible. So in our case, we want to do, say, Bright Angel down to the Indian Garden campground. They do have use codes available that you can identify each use area or campground, and you can find those codes by going back to the permit page, the first page you came to, scrolling all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see trails and use areas, and that will take you to this page, backcountry trails and use areas. And there's a lot of great information in here as well, so you want to go through and read this. And it has all the trail descriptions, so you can kind of find out where you're going to start your trip and what routes you're going to take. And then it has an area where it has the use area codes. So you want to find your use area, whether it's a dispersal camping or what they call at-large camping, or the campgrounds in the corridor, which is where we're going. So you want to find your campground, and then next to it are the codes. So CIG would be Indian Garden. So we're going to put CIG in here. And then the second night, I'm going to put the date in there, and then the second night, we're just going to stay in the campground. We're not going anywhere, so I'm just going to put that in there. And then you want to put in a second choice. Now I'm pretty confident, because of the time of year that we are applying for, which would be February, that we are going to get our permits. Usually December, January, February are pretty low months. The weather can be hit and miss. It'd be beautiful or hot, or it could be snowing. And so you never know what you're going to get. And so it's not the most popular time to go, which for us is the best time to go. We love to go when nobody else is there. So I'm pretty confident we're going to get it, but just for kicks and giggles, we're going to put in a second choice here. And so we're going to do basically our trip we did the last time as our second choice. So we're going to do the South Kaibab Trailhead, and then exit location would be Bright Angel. And then we'll put in the trail to be used would be South Kaibab to, or I guess you can spell it out here, there's enough room, to Bright Angel campground, which is, if you go back to that use area page and look up Bright Angel, the code is CBG. So we'll come in here and put in CBG, and then we would take, like we did the last time, we would take the Bright Angel to Indian Gardens, which is CIG, and then that would be it, and then our exit would be out of Bright Angel Trailhead. So, and as I said, you can submit as many itinerary choices as you like, just as provide additional pages. Make sure you put your name and contact information on each page so they can make sure they match it up. And after you're done with that, then you want to give them a sense on how flexible you are, and that's what this area is for. Put in some alternative start dates here. I think this is looking for a range. So if you can have a range of dates that you can start, say we're probably going to try and start on a Monday, but say we can start anywhere from a Monday to Thursday, and that would work out for us. So I'll put those dates in here. Trip length would be 2 nights for us. Minimum group size, we're not flexible on that. We're pretty much, you know, want to do six of us. Similar nearby campsite, sure, why not? Reverse itinerary, sure, why not? And then, are we flexible? Yeah, we're fairly flexible. So whatever works for you in this area, that's what you want to put. And then mode of transportation, in our case, we'll be taking the shuttle to the trailhead, so we won't have to worry about this. But if you are coming in, driving in from out of the park, and you have a car, you want to tell them where you're going to be parking that car and what your plate number and state and all that is, just so they know when there's a car parked for a few days in a parking lot that it belongs to you. And then lastly, you want to fill out your method of payment. They take all of these credit cards, you want to fill your name out, and then the amount that you're authorizing. Now the amount that you are authorizing is going to be the cost of the permit, and that's real easy to calculate. Once you got this all calculated here, all you have to do is click on this button, and this thing pops up, and it's already estimated that our permit cost is going to be $106. And the way that's calculated is the permit cost is $10. That's just one time, no matter how many days you go, it's $10. And then $8 per person per night that you are below the rim. So in other words, in our case, we have 6 people times 8 times 2. So $8 times 6 people times 2 nights. And that added to $10 is $106. So we're going to put that amount in here, and then we're going to print it out, fill in our credit card information, and sign it, and then it's ready to be faxed. And the fax number is right here on the top of this form, and you want to fax it into them. And some people may ask, well, why fax? I mean, we live in the 21st century. Why don't they have some sort of an email form that you can do? And I'll be honest, I have no idea why. I guess one of these days I'm going to ask somebody there, but my guess is they're trying to keep it as simple as possible for the rangers who do this, and maybe they're trying to weed people out if you're not willing to go through the hassle of finding a fax machine. I mean, who has a fax machine anymore anyway? But you know, it is a little bit more of a process in order to do this if you need to fax it. So now, as somebody who travels full time in an RV, we do not have a fax machine. I have a printer, and I can print it out. But what I do is I print it out and I take a picture with my phone. I use the Dropbox app, which has a really cool scanning feature. I make a PDF file, and then I use myfax.com, which is a free service. Fill in the fax number, fill in your information, choose a file, attach the PDF, and then send it. Please allow up to 3 weeks for a backcountry permit request to be processed. They will send you an email out, and they will give you notification as to whether you got a permit, and they will actually send you the permit as a PDF file via the email, so that once you get that, then you're done. All you have to do is prepare for your trip and you're ready to go. Or they will send you an email that says, sorry, your permit has not, has been denied. So that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any questions, or if there's any clarification that I need to put in here. There are definitely probably a lot more details about hiking in the Grand Canyon that you probably should know. So I do encourage you to go through this backcountry permit page and go through the whole Grand Canyon page and go through all these links and read as much about it as you possibly can. I mean, there are maps, there are links to maps, there's all kinds of information in here that will help you plan your trip and answer probably most of the questions you may have about hiking and backpacking in the Grand Canyon. Something amazing just happened. I applied for our permits yesterday, sent them in yesterday afternoon, and then this morning while we were driving down the road, I got this email from the Grand Canyon. It says, congratulations, you have been issued a permit for the Grand Canyon backpacking trip. So there it is. They've got the PDF permit attached to it, and there it is right there. All we have to do is print it out, and we're basically ready to go. We are officially permitted to backpack in the Grand Canyon in February when we're out there. So exciting news. I tell you, I was not expecting it this fast. I guess we just hit them at the right time. The last time we applied a couple years ago, it was also a February trip, and it took 3 weeks for them to get back to me. So I was real surprised, but cool, we're excited. So here we go. We're gonna get ready to do another backpacking trip in the Grand Canyon, and I'm gonna make some videos that show our preparation. We've got things that we're gonna do differently this time, you know, lessons that we learned the last time we were in the canyon, as to what we should take, what we shouldn't take. So I'm really excited and looking forward to sharing the videos for our prep and you know, how we prepare to hike the Grand Canyon again.